Check, check. Here we go. Here we are. Hello. Hi. Hey. What's up, everybody? It's Rudy Tibersi. I'm here giving you my 2025 movie recommendations. Now, a lot of people doing these best of lists, top 10 lists. That's not what this is. This is a mostly vibes based recommendations episode of like, okay, here are some movies that I saw because I love going to the movies. I'm finding that out. I love going to the movies a lot more than most people. It's like a place I like to go when I don't have much to do. I like to go see random movies. I like to go see movies I'm not even looking forward to. That evidenced by I'm going to go to the Monday mystery movie at Regal tonight because I love that you go and you don't know what they're going to show and then you're there for it. And so I'm excited to do that. I also like going to a theater and experiencing a movie with a bunch of random people. It is cool, it is fun, it's an exciting way to get to experience something that I mean, think about a movie. There's millions of dollars put into these things and you can't spend $10 to take 2 hours to go watch some amazing artist who got hundreds, if not thousands, of people on board to complete this mission, this vision, this task. I think it's awesome. I love going to the theater. I love seeing a director's body of work unfold. I love seeing actors continue to develop and progress and seeing what choices they make on screen. I think it's so fun to see how characters come alive. I think it's amazing to get lost in stories. I also like just watching movies at home, chilling out with the cats, popping some popcorn, having some tea, having my little snackies, and just going for it. And so today, I've done a bunch of movie watching in 2025, and I actually think 2025 was a fun movie year. I had a blast going to the theater. I go to both small little indie theaters and then big Regal and Cinemark ones as well. So I like to get a variety of them in there. I watch the streamers and all that. So I'm not going to do a top 10. I'm going to give you four different buckets of different kinds of movies that I enjoyed this year. So the four categories are just a good time. That's a bunch of movies that are enjoyable. You don't have to do a ton of work necessarily. And you don't have to pay attention the entire time necessarily, but it always helps when you do. And then I'm gonna do a category right in the feels. So that's one where if you're looking to feel a little emotional, there might be something you might have to work for some emotions in that story, then this is the one for you. And then the third category is wasn't expecting that. So weird movies that maybe take a little more work that I just wasn't expecting to enjoy. And yet I'm glad I took a chance on, but might not be for everybody. And then the final category is the fucking A movies, which were ones that took big swings and blew me away. And I'm pumped that I got to see them. So let's get going. The just a good time movies here. I have a big list right here. There's a bunch of movies on there. Um, and to get going, in just a good time, one of the last movies I saw in the theater in 2025 was Anaconda. Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, Tandy Newton making a remake of Anaconda in the jungle. Silly, fun, actiony, kind of all over the place. Stupid comedy, but I had a good time watching it. That's about what it is. The next one was Companion, which was so many of the things that I'm really into robots, kind of some horror, some twisty turnies, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't see it in the theaters. I don't know why it didn't make it to the theaters, but it's on a couple streamers now, and I definitely recommend checking out Companion one of these days. It's a cool sci-fi horror thriller. I enjoyed it with some humor in there. Another one kind of in that same realm, which I didn't know what to expect, hadn't heard much going into it. I saw it at Cinemark in Springfield, was Death of a Unicorn. I really liked Death of a Unicorn. It is what the title says, and um, I really enjoyed it. Some really satisfying deaths in there, and I would definitely recommend that to anyone kind of looking for a monster horror type comedy that again wasn't this could have gone in wasn't expecting that but the title gives it away. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it. I put it on the other night as I was going to sleep and was happy with it. So that was fun. Another one I saw, an A24 rom com supernatural type, was Eternity. This was a delight. Fun movie about an afterlife. What happens when you get to the afterlife? That's kind of in a rom com style. Like, I really liked it. I'll definitely watch it again. I think it's coming to Apple TV here pretty soon this month. I'll definitely give it a rewatch. But I enjoyed it. Had a good time. Another one, if you're just looking for a popcorn flick, F1. F1 is like, if you like Top Gun Maverick, which I did. Top Gun Maverick fucked. It was rad. Like, it was fun. And I would actually say I probably preferred that to F1, but F1 was the same kind of thing. Like, you don't get Tom Cruise, you get Brad Pitt. You don't get fighter pilots, you get race car drivers. So I enjoyed it. It was fun. Probably a little too long. Old school versus new school. Give it a try if that sounds like what you want to watch. If you're looking for just a fun comedy, I don't know if they got better this year than The Naked Gun. It was a blast. I thought Liam Neeson did a really good job of taking the role of Frank Drebin for Leslie Nielsen. No relation, different names. So but both L N's. Now that I think about it, and he and Pam Anderson have a sweet love story in the real world now, which is just amazing. And the movie was a blast. So many jokes. Just a silly comedy filled to the brim with jokes. If you're looking for that, I think it's free on Prime right now. So check out Naked Gun. Another one that I really liked, Predator Badlands. Bang Bang makes the Predator kind of a good guy. It's kind of fun. You get some backstory. Elle Fanning's in there, and I had just watched Alien Earth, and there was some Wayland Yutani stuff in there, so that's kind of fun world building stuff. But I liked the new world they lived in, kind of a not like the harsh Predator movies, but a fun crowd pleaser Predator movie. Another fun one that I liked, and I'll kind of add another one, The Roses and Splitsville kind of go together. Two movies that came out around the same time, kind of like the Dante's Peak and Inferno of breakup movies, or divorce movies or whatever. So those were fun. I enjoyed them. The Roses had is two of the best actors in the world, Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Kind of a remake, not a full on remake of War of the Roses, but similar. I definitely enjoyed it. A couple more that I enjoyed came out a little earlier in the year. I really liked Superman. I thought it was a blast. I think James Gunn knows what he's doing in that superhero realm, and so I was happy to see it. That one and Weapons, I saw both of those twice in the theaters because I just had such a good time. And Weapons was one that I really didn't know much about going into, and I was glad. And then the storytelling style made a rewatch quite enjoyable. Superman was one I just wanted to watch to feel good, and Weapons was one I wanted to watch to kind of dig into. And one more in just a good time was The Housemaid, kind of this pulpy Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, um, Paul Feig movie, who I like, and it's just kind of a fun little thriller jaunt that's got some satisfying plot points in there. Um, then moving on to Right in the Feels, some movies that if you want to get a little feeling in there, well, then there's a couple in here you might want to check out. Some that I liked this year was Eleanor the Great, Scarlett Johansson's directorial debut about an 80-year-old lady moving to New York City, and she gets caught up in some stuff. It was thoughtful, and I really appreciated it a lot of times we don't get to see characters in that age range as like the lead, and you found yourself rooting for her throughout. I did, at least, so that was good. Another one that I liked that I hadn't heard much about and just came on the streamers and got nominated for, I think, a Golden Globe, is the Ballad of Wallace Island, I think is what it's called. And about kind of this, um Isolated guy, weird guy on an island in the UK, and how he brings some people there, and it was just thoughtful and fun, and I really liked the character. I kind of identified with him. He plays with words and is just socially awkward, and so I was definitely satisfied with how they put it together, and the two leads, the two main guys, they wrote it together, which always think is very cool. um and another one that I liked in the feely category was The Legend of Ochi, kind of this cute little critter movie from A24 that is, if you want a cute creature movie, check it out. I'm excited to give it a rewatch actually, now that it's on, I think it's on Max, HBO Max. Um Another one that kind of struck a chord with me was Rental Family. Brendan Fraser in Japan gets this gig to play a role in people's lives. And as someone who lived for many years in Asia, a Weigukin, I lived in Korea as a foreigner for a long time. It was sentimental in the right ways, and helped remind me of some of my experiences overseas. So I really liked it. Brendan Fraser does a good job. The kid does a good job, and it was a unique kind of plot and story. So that was fun. Another really one of the really good ones, couple really good ones coming up and right in the feels. Sorry Baby, Sentimental Value, and Train Dreams. Three really good movies. Those are like really good movies, and they tug on some heartstrings along the way. I think they were all super good. Sorry Baby, Ava Victor wrote, starred, directed that one. Love seeing that kind of vision, especially from someone who you haven't heard a ton from previously. So really liked Sorry Baby. Sentimental Value. I'm a Norwegian dude. I got my Scandinavian festival hat on. Look at that. And I really appreciate seeing these Scandinavian movies, Nordic, Norwegian movies coming out. Joachim Trier is a great director. He and Renata Reinsva made The Worst Person in the World um previously, and so this is like this movie I saw, they wrote it with her in mind, so it was like something to work with her again because they just liked her so much, and she's awesome. She's going to get nominated for Best Actress. I would like her to win. I don't think she's going to though. But Sentimental Value, really good. About Definitely recommend that. And then Train Dreams. Train Dreams kind of came out of nowhere for me. It just popped up on Netflix and I hadn't heard about it. But it was so good. Like, I love that movie. I have no problem recommending it to basically anyone. I recommended it to a lot of people pretty much as soon as I saw it. And everyone who had seen it also loved it as well. So big rec for Train Dreams. Joel Edgerton is going to get a Best Actor nomination for that one. It might sneak into Best Picture as well, but I don't know if it's going to take home any big awards, even though I really appreciate it. Bill Macy's in there, does an awesome job. So those were the right in the feels. Now, getting to a bit weirder movies, maybe. Wasn't expecting that category. I don't know what I was expecting, but it probably wasn't the movie that I got. And I'll start with Begonia. I just rewatched Begonia, and I think I liked the rewatch better than the initial one. And just like another Yorgos Lanthimos, Emma Stone, weird movie that you're not quite sure where it's taking you. Kind of makes you feel uneasy. A young couple walked out at the second time I went to see it, and I get that it's not for everybody, but it's uneasy, weird. Check it out. Jesse Plemons does a great job. Limited role by Stavros Halkias, very funny guy. So it was cool to see that on screen. Another one that I saw this one right after I got diagnosed with a brain tumor, and it has some connection to that. And I wasn't expecting that, but they did a great job with 28 years later. I really appreciated it. Had a good time. I rewatched it on a flight recently, my first flight. after the said brain tumor was removed. Um, and good. I was waiting 28 years for it, and I thought it was really good. I'm excited to see the next one, The Bone Temple. It was fun. I like a zombie movie. Saw some zombie dongers, and it took some swings and got weird, and had a friggin' weird ending. But I was happy with it. I really enjoyed 28 Years Later. Looking forward to The Bone Temple this month. Another weird one done in a really funky fashion was If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, starring almost exclusively Rose Byrne's face. Like, she did a great job in this movie, and it's mostly her face. Like, it's just kind of about how shitty it can be a parent. And I'm not a parent, but she nailed it. And I think she'll be nominated for Best Actress. She doesn't look like she's going to win, but I think she has a shot. She did a really bang up job. Really appreciated this movie. I liked the flow. If you can stand being uneasy throughout and unhappy, um, that's one that makes you work for it. Another one, this could have been under just like a normal movie, but I didn't even know. This is the only Monday mystery movie that's making the list, and it's Song Sung Blue, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. You know, we saw this Neil Diamond preview all over the place leading up to the Christmas Day release, and I saw it came out. For me, I saw it in one of these mystery movies on a Monday, and I was glad because I probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise. I wasn't planning on going and seeing it, but I'm glad I did. If you want to strap in for the ride, it took me into some places I wasn't expecting, and so jump in, get the tissues ready, and enjoy the movie. And then a couple other ones with some international flair that are kind of weird, make you work. If you're opposed to reading subtitles, don't watch them, but they're interesting in ways that I haven't really seen before. And those are The Secret Agent, starring Wagner Moura, who's, I think he just won Critics' Choice for Best Actor for that, and he did a great job. And it, for being called Secret Agent, does not have the vibe of a secret agent film. I actually went on a date on to see this, a first date, and it was not a great choice for that. So take that for what it's worth, but it was good nonetheless. And there were projection difficulties as well. So there was all kinds of funky chunky watches of it, but it was an interesting international Brazilian film nonetheless. And then Nouvelle Vague by Richard Linklater, cool movie about the making of Breathless, the beginning of the French New Wave, but it has these Linklater vibes just about how that movie kind of got put together. And I really enjoyed it, appreciated it. I'll watch it again. I'm looking forward to seeing Blue Moon sometime, his other movie this year, because Linklater had a big year. And now, finally, for the final category, again, these are in no particular order, but I feel like this was just an appropriate flow. The Fuckin A category. This is a bunch of movies, or a handful of movies that just kind of knocked my socks off and took big old swingy lings, and I was there for it. That's one of the things I love about movies is when a director takes a big swing and tries to get you on board, or is just like, hop on or hop off. I don't care. This is what the movie is. Let's make it happen. And I'll start with a horror movie that I really liked earlier in this year. I was really looking forward to the follow up to Talk to Me. The Philippou brothers, I think I'm saying that right. They started as YouTubers, and then they made Talk to Me, which was a freaking shit show of a horror movie. One of the scariest movies. I still, when I watch it, I have to do this at times. I've watched it a number of times, and I've still, each time I think I've closed my eyes for parts. And Bring Her Back has a similar feel. Yeah, there are some scenes in that are gruesome and gnarly, and that little kid who plays the lead, like the lead psycho kid, is freaking good. Like, I wonder what that kid is going to grow up like as like a person, because that was something else. Anyways, if you like horror movies, Bring Her Back. A24 doing their thing. Definitely appreciated that. Another A24. I think most of these are A24. I'm not sure which ones aren't. Another A24 kind of horror adjacent by one of my favorite filmmakers, Ari Aster, Eddington. Oh man, I've been looking for a reason to rewatch it, and one of my friends had it as his top movie of the year. So I rewatched it last night. I'd seen it in the theaters the first time, didn't know what to expect, and the first time I saw it in the theaters in kind of this weird conservative area over at Cinemark in Springfield, um, it was tense and it was nerve wracking. It's a period piece. It takes place during the beginning of COVID, and Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal do a great job of as budding heads in this just very ignitable social circumstances. And so I really liked Eddington. The rewatch was good. It wasn't as nerve wracking because I remember during like kind of the main climax, the primary climax of the movie, I watched it with my dad, and I don't know if I said to him or just out loud, I was like, "This is a nightmare," because Astor does such a great job. He likes throwing Joaquin Phoenix through the ringer because I just watched Beau is Afraid for the first time this year, which, oh my God, I'm not sure. I'm not going to recommend that to a lot of people except psycho film nerds because it's 3 hours of some of the craziest shit you've ever seen in a movie. And literally, that's how it's insane. Beau is Afraid is one of the wildest movies you will ever see. I can't even believe it. I hardly believe it got made. It's insane. Midsummer is one of my favorite movies of all time. Love Midsummer, and so I'm really excited to see what Ari Aster does next. Because he's crushing it. He's got four bangers. I think they're wild. He takes big swings, and they are fucking A movies for sure. Now, these next three are three of the heavy hitters of the year, and I loved them all. I walked out of each of these excited to tell people about them. And they're coming out in alphabetical order. But Marty Supreme, holy freaking cow. Josh Safdie, Timothy Chalamet hammered this movie. They nailed it. It's frantic, it's frenetic, and making me want to watch this whole thing. I watched it 3 times in the course of a week. I just felt like they were so on point with everything. And this like super realistic hyper realism that the Safdies do, it just comes through, and the whole cast crushed it, and nobody's even likable. That's the thing. Nobody's particularly likable, I'll say that, because I don't know, I'm a Chalamet guy. I'm drinking this Chalamet Kool-Aid, baby. This guy rocks. He knows what he's doing, and I just am excited to see what he does next. He's done a lot of crazy stuff that I really appreciate. Not even crazy, but just really good. I'm not the biggest Dune head, but do like Chalamet. And Marty Supreme, oh man, if the fun is a rockin', don't come a knockin', because Marty Supreme, I watched it before a comedy slash rap show that I was on Saturday because I was like, this is the perfect movie to get me in that zone. It's like 5 movies in one. It's got so many weird, crazy scenes, and you're doing this. He's like all along the whole road of the story, it's just takes so many twists and turns, and it goes all over the place, and people are just like, it's got that Uncut Gems vibe, which totally, obviously it's a Safdie movie. So um loved it. I will see it again at some point, I'm sure. I tried to get people to go to the movies with me, but like everybody was busy all friggin' week. I saw it on New Year's Eve. I literally asked 10 people, and I was like, I don't even care. I love this movie. I'm excited to see it again. And then I saw it again before a show. And guess what? Marty Supreme helped me win the freestyle battle on Saturday night. So I love that shit. It was so good. It's so good. I love it. I'm excited to see it again. Josh Safdie, Timothy Chalamet crushing it. Kevin O'Leary even rocked the boat. He was awesome. Um, Last 2 movies, I totally big swings, loved them. One battle after another. I know a lot of people have kind of mixed feelings or don't even like some of the aspects of this movie. I've seen the critiques, and that's fair. But again, same thing. I didn't know what I was getting into going into this, and it's almost 3 hours long, and it doesn't feel like work. It's a friggin' awesome, fun, exciting, bang 'em up movie. Like, I was just like totally on board. The performances were amazing. Not even a big Leo guy, but Leo crushed it. The newcomer Chase Infinity crushed it. Tiana Taylor crushed it. Benicio del Toro crushed it. Sean Penn crushed it. Everyone friggin' crushed it. And it was like, I think, an exciting, fun, relevant movie for our times. Again, about flawed characters going on journeys throughout. Didn't Leo's character, and nobody really had the same like push as Marty and Marty Supreme, but I would say that it's the movement that has the push forward throughout the movie rather than the individual of Marty Supreme. So where Marty goes forward with a guy, one battle goes forward with a movement. And so they have different vibes, but similar vibes as well. I would say I really appreciated One Battle After Another, and now it's on the streamer. I'm excited to watch it for a third time at home because this was one I watched two times. Once with a friend over in Springfield, and again it was kind of like a little tense, conservative in that space. But then I wanted to watch it again in the indie theater to get those vibes and see what that was like. And I still loved it, and everyone there had a good time too. I like the double watch because I usually have to pee or get a refill of popcorn or soda or something like that. And then, so the next time I watch it, if I watch a movie a second time, I get to come back and I have a new scene waiting for me the next time I see it. So that's a little secret movie hack. And then finally, Sinners. Sinners rocked. I saw it on Easter, loved it. Packed theater, had a blast. I'm excited to watch it again. I've seen parts of it again, but this was another one that knocked my socks off when I first saw it, and I ran out of the theater recommending it to lots of people, and I'm excited to give that a rewatch because it was dope and Michael B. Jordan crushed it. And I really liked some of the music stuff they did with it. And again, very appropriate to our times. But it was a fucking A movie for sure. All of those were. And so that is not by any means a comprehensive list of what I saw this year and what came out. There's still stuff I'm waiting to see. I just kept waiting to make this because I'm like, I didn't see everything. I want to see more. I want to watch more movies. But there you go. There's a big chunk of movies that you can watch if you're in the mood to watch movies. There's a bunch more. What would you add to the list? Was there anything that you really liked that didn't make it onto the list, or what'd you think of any of those movies? Did any of them surprise you? Did you have a fun time? Would you switch any of them around? What movies would you put in the different categories? So, anyways, thank you for listening to me talk about movies for like a half hour because I just love the darn things. And I wrote a movie this year. I'm got a couple others I want to write, and the chance of anything getting made is so slim, so infinitesimal that I recognize every single movie on that list is a miracle in some way or another. To have it be made and to have them be out there, and I just love going to the movies and talking about them. So thanks for hanging out. I hope you had some fun at the movies this year. Or if you didn't, why not? Anyways, I will see you next time on Movie Reviews for Humans. Hope you like my recommendations. Peace.